going on to kind of capture what all has been impacted, all of these managements, how they help the community on
Finding a reputable business shouldn't require luck or chance. But how can you tell who you can trust? Always look for the sign of a better business and find a better business anytime at BECom.
right now.
Until the same thing is done to you. That's why I am here. Karma.
Karma is real. You can keep doing people dirty and being a complete asshole and think God is going to bless you. It may not be today or tomorrow or next week, but what goes around comes back around. And when that bitch come back for you, it'll be tenfold.
You know what? It comes full circle sometimes.
Porsha,
that is what I'm saying.
Porsha, do you think karma bit you in the butt?
How could I cause something so unfortunate to happen to someone who didn't deserve it karma?
Same thing is done to you. That's why I am here.
It comes full circle sometimes.
So of course it's not karma.
Why would I? Which makes sense now.
Hey, my truth seekers, how are you guys doing? Welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. Let me make sure I get everything together and load this music down, son. So again, guys, happy Memorial Day. I hope you all are enjoying you guys' day. Thank you for spending it with me. Yes, indeed. So as you can see by the title right here, we're going to go over some more stuff that is going on when it comes to Porsha Williams Gabadia and Simon Gabadia. They are going back and forth when it comes to, this prenup dispute. So we're going to go ahead and talk about all that. as well, I'm going to do a show. So make sure another show, a second show. I think it's going to be around 5 o'clock p.m. Central. We're going to go ahead and talk about this ongoing saga when it comes to love and marriage in Huntsville. I really think that these people are forming an alliance, which, like I said, a hit dog is going to holler. And I want to go ahead and talk a little bit more about that tonight. So I went ahead and separate the two because I don't even think that they both belongs together. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta now, which most of this stuff is off camera. So again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and nine buys. And when you come on, guys, catching a replay, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. And also, I got to go ahead and put my Cash App, Real Talk 985. You are not obligated, but if you are getting information, being informative, from a nine bias perspective, or from my truth, okay, feel free to go ahead and Cash App Real Talk 985, okay? Also, let me go ahead and, I got to go ahead and do this right here, the copyright disclaimer. The copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, so again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and nine buys. Okay. So, like I say several times in here, I do not know these people from a can of paint. I only can go by of what they put out. So don't get mad with the messenger. I saw where someone had left a comment, and they're saying, well, if you are for God and you see people down as you always preach, why, you are going after Porsha? Like I said, I'm calling it out, like I said, and I don't think that Porsha is down. I think Porsha thought that what she was doing, she thought that she couldn't get away with it, especially being that Simon, they look at, especially when they are real Africans, it's Americans, they look at like they are slow or they behind. No, these people are ahead. Okay. It's just that we are brainwashed. We are the ones that stuck in what I call the place of Lodabar. And if you think that, you can go out there and get these African men and just because they are showering you with all this money that, once they here in the United States, then you think, oh, I got the upper hand. But like I said, it never works like that. And like I say, karma, karma is a what. So we're going to go ahead and talk about all that. Again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and nine buys. Okay. So I talked about, I think it was like maybe 3 days ago, I had told you guys also going to do commentary when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's if, they do air, because they going through all this legal battle when it comes to Porsha Williams, but I want to give you guys my perspective, when it comes to all this right here, and like I said, I only can call it out as you can see, but this right here, this is a lot, especially when you got all the footage. And when it comes to Porsha Williams got a lot of footage, where she filmed, but Simon Kabadi, he's sitting there and he's going to court and he's putting a stop to this. And a lot of people are upset. Simon is being petty. No, Simon is not being petty, because I truly believe that if it was the other way around, then you guys going to have something to say about that as well. Just because you guys are a fan to Porsha, which, I like Porsha, but I'm going to call Porsha out, okay? Because like I said, I stand on my truth. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. I'm gonna call it like it is. You can't have your pickers and your choosers, or you can't choose what is good and what you want to sit there and you want to throw away. It's not going to work like that. And what Simon is doing, Simon, he probably be hurt, because he thought that marriage most likely was going to last more than 465 days or however it was. And once, and I'm going to say allegedly, because all this right here to me is for entertainment purposes only. But once they said that Porsche went ahead and made that deal, went ahead and signed that contract, then all of a sudden, she wanted out. And I don't know if it's true or not, but like I said, I only can, go off of my opinion, and everything is allegedly, and everything is for entertainment purpose only. Most likely, Portia knew that her and Simon was, mostly, doing their lifestyle, promoting their lifestyle off of Simon's credit. And Portia probably say, look, I done signed this big deal, and he gonna have to pay, all this debt back, but it's not gonna be, with my money. So I'm trying to get out of this. That's just my opinion. So most likely, Portia, she wanted to get out before, he start going into her income. But it does not work like that, because long as you are married, what's his is yours, and what yours is his. Now, even if they went ahead and signed a prenup, like they said, Portia, she gets to stay in the house for 2 years. And the only reason why, because at the time, Portia did not have a job. Portia was unemployed. Now she did, most likely had, some money coming in because of her brand. She sell, her hair weave and her sheets and stuff like that. But I do not think that it was enough money, to sit there and take care of her type of lifestyle, how Simon, had took care of her, because we know that Simon, he gave Portia a very good, lavish life. We saw these people in Dubai. We saw these people sitting there having a good time. Let's not even talk about the wedding. I mean, the wedding, it's like he went beyond and above when it came to her wedding. But like I said, all this right here is what I call the nature of the beast. Much is given and much is required. And, like I said, we, go for our favorites, but still of all, right is right and wrong is wrong. And that's why most likely they are held up right now when it comes to, this big old dispute, because Simon said they're saying if they going to film in his house, which is right, then, I want them to open up the books. I want to see Portia's contract. I want to see what she's working with. I'm living off of my debt. I took care of her real good, her and her child. No way in the world, I'm going to sit there and allow her family to come in and film, and I don't get nothing out of it. Come on, guys, make it make sense. That's why I say in here is real talk, unapologetic and non-biased. You may not like it, but like I said, it is what it is. And these people, they run after money. Like I said, you can never build a solid foundation off of material possession. That's just like building a house on sinking sand. So let's go ahead and go through some of this right here. I did pull up an article. Let me see if I can go ahead and find it. I think it was Radar. They was talking about it. I'm not going to pull it up on my computer, but I'm going to pull it up on my phone. And like I said, all this right here, I went ahead and read the copyright disclaimer. So let me go ahead and read it again, because this article right here is coming from Radar. Okay, so right here, the copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, and also, guys, again, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. And also, let me go ahead and put my my banner up. Okay, so this article right here is coming from Radar. Okay, and most likely you guys have heard this right here, but you haven't heard it from me. Okay, so Radar had put that Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams ex Simon demand she reveal her multi-million payday with Bravo in bitter prenup war. So he want Bravo, he want whoever Porsha went ahead and signed those contracts, those deals. He want Porsha, and he also subpoena most likely the ones that she signed that contract with, she want them to go ahead and open up the books. And most likely that's why they are not filming, because they want Porsha to go ahead and clean up this, get this stuff right before they continue to do business with her. If not, Simon, he done pull off the gloves. Simon, he'll go after them and he assume, and yes, he can do it because the house is in his name. That house belongs to Simon Gabadia. Okay. So right here, it says that Porsha estranged husband Simon Gabadia is fighting her motion to squash the subpoena for a deposition and all communication with Real Housewives of Atlanta producers, including her contract and financial documents related to her Bravo return. Like I said, you never win when you play dirty. Porsha knew exactly what she was getting into. Porsha knew that when she went into that marriage, she went in this marriage because what she was doing was, and like I say, this is my opinion, everything is alleged for entertainment purpose only. You air it out, you are free game. Because what she did was she covered somebody else's blessings. And I talk about it all the time. You might see somebody else's glory, but you don't know the story. You don't know what it took for that person who you are covering their blessings. You don't know what it took for them people to get what they got. You don't know the pure hell that they may have gotten or was going through behind closed doors. All you see is if this person is living a lavish life. Like I said, one thing about karma never forgets an address. Okay. I don't care if it's tomorrow, next year, 2 years, 20 years. Trust me, it's going to come back and it's going to bite you in your butt. Okay. And like I said, I do not know these people from a can of paint. I only can go by of what they air out. So don't get mad with the messenger, okay? So in this document obtained by radaronline.com, Simon argued that the information is relevant to that prenuptial agreement war because Porsha Financial has drastically changed since she joined the series. So what Simon is fighting and he's bringing it to court is that the income that Porsha have now it does not add to when they came into their marriage. Most likely he was the breadwinner. Most likely Simon was the one that was providing. Okay, so Simon want the court, he want a deposition, and you can't lie. When it's a deposition, that's when attorneys come together and they're gonna record you, and they want to see what's going on before they go ahead and present it to the judge. Okay, I see my girl is in the house. Good afternoon, Lady D and Chat. Everything that glitter ain't gold. Absolutely, girl. You better preach. You better preach. Again, happy Memorial Day, to all you guys that celebrate these holidays and stuff like that. I hope you all are, like I say, going to enjoy yourself. Make sure you don't drink and drive, okay? Because you don't know who's sitting on the side of the highway just waiting to sit there and give those tickets to you, okay? So don't drink and drive, okay? Make sure you drive safe, enjoy your holiday, okay? So again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and 9 buys. Right here, we are talking about the battle that's going over the Bucks, okay? Porsha Williams and Simon Gabadia, they are not playing, okay? At least Simon is not playing, okay? And we also going to talk about Simon, and I'm going to say allegedly. Simon say somebody's stealing his jewelry. Simon sit there and say he had a watch, that was worth a lot of money, and he cannot find that watch. So I'm quite obvious. Simon gonna sit there, long as Porsha and whoever is in that house, he gonna sit there and say somebody done took this, somebody took that, and before you know it, he gonna be filing insurance claims. But like I said, you never win when you play dirty, okay? And when it comes to Porsha, like I said, don't get mad with the messenger, okay? So let's go ahead and continue this right here from Radar, okay? This outlet told you first that Porsha demand a judge overrule Simon request. So right there, Porsha, someone that don't know the difference between an underground railroad, now she wants to demand a judge to overrule Simon's request. It doesn't work like that, Portia. You guys was married. It is just so sad that you went in it so blinded because, like I said, the love of money is the root of all evil. So right here it says that Portia is claiming her job as a reality star has nothing to do with their prenup. It has everything, Portia. It has everything to do with your prenup because you guys was married. I promise you, if it was the other way around, you would have sat there and you would have had a hissy fit. Okay, so it does. What belongs to Simon, what you have, it belongs to him, and what belongs to you, it belongs to Simon. Okay, yes, indeed. But this is now how Simon sees. See, Simon not going to see it like that because Simon he going to see it for what it is, you know. And we already know this is not Simon Gabadia. This is not his first rodeo. Now, Portia, like I said, Portia, she need to just wake up. Portia, like I say, something is not right in the upper room. When it comes to her, you can't have it your way. This is not no Burger King, okay? Yes, indeed. Ms. Wu say Portia done. Yes, she done met her match with Simon. He's gonna take her through it. Yes, absolutely, because whatever amount of money that Portia went ahead and she signed when it comes to Bravo or whoever she signed with, half of that money is going to belong to Simon. And now, like I said, people running with it, I got some messy ancestors. My messy ancestors, they talk to me in the wee wee in hours, because like I said, when it comes to these reality shows, I can take the foolish things of this world to conform the wise because this is where my people at. But my messy ancestors, they came and they told me, they said there and say, Portia, she thought that she was going to be able to get out of this deal. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hurry up and I'm going to divorce this man because I don't want this man to get half of my money. So I'm going to leak that this guy is illegal. This guy, he does not even belongs in the United States. Maybe if I play those cards, maybe, all the money that, I'm getting from Bravo, these contracts is going to belong to me. So let me see if I can go ahead and throw out this information that this man is here illegal. He does not have a green card, but that doesn't matter, Portia. That doesn't matter. Whoever sat there and gave you that information, they knew that something was not right with you in the upper room. Okay. And I'm not a psychiatrist, but the way that Portia, like Phaedra Parts say, Portia got a little teeny weeny brain. Okay. It doesn't work like that because whether he is he have a green card or not, he still can work in the United States. His visa, long as he renewed the visa and they renewing that, then he can still sit there, buy properties, he can still do business, he can still move around and and do whatever he need to do. So whoever gave Portia that type of information, I mean, they pulled a wool over her, most likely wanted to just go ahead and take her money. So whoever, was the attorney or the advisor that went ahead and gave that information. So Portia, you need to run away from that person because they gave you some bad information. Okay. So the information sought in the deposition subpoena issued to True Entertainment. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. I got out of it. Hold on one second. Okay. This information sought in the deposition subpoena issued to True Entertainment is relevant to the petition claim for relief and the respondent claim and defense, he said in the document filed on Thursday. Simon noted that since Portia wants the prenup that they signed days before their November 2022 enforced her request for relief alone put the wife's income and financial status as issue because in order for the court to determine the enforceability of the prenuptial agreement, the court must evaluate the wife's financial circumstances. Portia thought she was going to wiggle her way out of this. Porsha thought, that okay, I need to get out this marriage. And that's the part that was so confusing because we remember on Valentine's Day, I mean, this guy showered her with so many roses. I mean, dozens and dozens of roses. They were in Dubai. They was, at a beach and wherever they was, and they was enjoying themselves. Then all of a sudden, we got this content creator, that always talks about Portia and Simon Gabati. And she went ahead and posted that she saw on radar that Portia is filing for divorce. And we wondering what's going on. We were sitting there, listening to her. That's why I say when it comes to some of these content creators, most of this stuff is just clickbait. Like I said, for me, I'm going to call it like it is. Maybe that's why I have a little followers because I'm going to stand on my truth. I'm not going to clickbait you. When you come on, you're going to get the real uncut, unedited version. I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat to tickle no one ears. But this content creator, she got almost maybe 500,000 subscribers. But she does a lot of clickbait. So, we thinking that Simon sat there and did some stuff that was illegal, did this and did that. You don't even hear no more about that because why? Simon went ahead and he squashed that mess. No, most likely this was some bitter Betty, my ex, and I'm going to say allegedly, that sat there and fed all this stuff to the bloggers. Like I said, even if Simon is a citizen to the United States, that does not mean that Simon cannot sit there and do business in the United States, okay? Simon sat there and he even told some old comment, somebody that commented under his page, they're saying something about doing business. Simon said, I don't have to sit there and do business around the corner. I could do business wherever I want to do business at. Most of his business deals are in Dubai. But that's just to show you, that these people, it's like when it comes to these people that watches all this stuff that's going on, I don't know who these people is. Some of these people are some miserable people. That's how they did me this morning. Somebody, just because, I'm talking about this stuff that's going on, these people put their personal business out on display. And just because you don't like the way that, I sit there and tell my story, then you're going to sit there and write, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm going to unfollow you. Do it. You don't have to sit there and post and waste your time to tell me that you're going to unsubscribe from me. Go ahead and do it. Like I said there and say, ain't nothing changing over here. I've been standing on my truth from day one. I don't go along with the bandwagon. Like I say, when the 99 go that way, I'm going after that one, okay? I'm going after that one. And even if I might be, liking and favoring Porsha, but if Porsha is wrong, I'm going to call Porsha out. If Marcel is wrong, I'm going to call Marcel out. Even if Tisha wrong, I'm going to call him out. Like I said there and say, don't get mad with the messenger. But don't sit there and write and say, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe to you. Do whatever you need to do because the Most High God, like I say, this is my ministry. If 2 or 3 together, he is there. God would never, ever have me alone. But he said, tell it to them anyway, because they are some stiff-necked people. So don't get mad. Ain't nobody taking sides. Ain't nobody sitting there putting their foot down on nobody. I don't do that, but I'm going to call the crap out. I'm definitely going to call the crap out, okay? So Simon made it clear that he seeks communication between True Entertainment, the production company behind Real Housewives of Atlanta, and this ex. They say this ex, okay? Or this gold digger, okay? But Simon said there, he's saying, look, I want you guys to communicate with me. I want you guys to tell me what's going on. Open these books because whatever is Porsha, half of that is mine, okay? And if you guys are filming in my house, I want half of that as well. So what Simon can do is Simon can get half of the prenup and also half of whatever the other the contractors, most likely, he can make a choice, I want this amount of money if you're going to film on my property. So not just Porsche have, he can ask for a certain amount of dollars for True Entertainment or Bravo or whoever, bringing their cameras into his house. Simon can ask for that money as well. So Simon, ching, ching, ching. Simon, most likely, he didn't hit the jackpot because of who he was dealing with. He was dealing with someone that didn't know how many days was in a year, didn't know the difference between the underground railroad track, didn't know anything, didn't know none of that. And the sad part about it, just like they used to tease her, girl, your grandfather, he's a part of the civil rights leader, Hosea Williams. You should be ashamed of yourself, didn't know none of that. Nobody's not going to sit there and pacify and keep sitting there babysitting a grown-up person. You think that you got it all together, but quite obvious, girl, something is not right. Did you ride the yellow bus? Ain't nothing wrong with the yellow bus, but something is not right in the upper room. In my Phaedra Park voice, something is not right in the buttermilk, okay? So let's go ahead and continue. Wife financial status and whether her current financial status of earning multi-million just a little over 12 months into a party marriage would make enforcements of the prenuptial agreement fair. Yes, absolutely. So whatever this girl is making, that money belongs to Simon as well. Okay, so if Porsha or whomever, which Porsha did, went ahead and deleted some of her comments. Porsha was saying something about, Simon is in debt, and she hurry up, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go ahead and talk about that as well. Porsha had made a comment, they was going back and forth of, the pettiness on social media. So Porsha was sitting there saying, well, Shamil and her husband, they are debt free. And this is not the word verbatim, okay? Like I say, all this right here is for entertainment purpose only. But what she was doing is she was trying to throw a jab at Simon, saying, Shamil's husband, he's debt free, as if Simon's not. So by they going to court, they will say, well, you knew that he wasn't debt free. You knew that this man was lavishing your lifestyle off of his credit. So if you knew all this and you was enjoying all the perks, then you should pay out all the bills that he had enjoyed with you. So most likely Porsche attorneys or whomever say, girl, go ahead and delete this mess. Because if you knew that this man was sitting there using his credit to furnish your lifestyle, then the judge going to sit there and say, you're going to have to pay that. You're going to have to pay that, okay? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Like I said, guys, stop running after the love of money, because the love of money is the root of all evil. Nothing good is going to come out of that. Not one thing. Like I said, don't cover nobody's blessings, because you don't know what it took for that person to get what they got, and you don't know who you marry. Everything, just like my sister said, everything that glitters is not gold. You don't know who you're sleeping with. You can be sleeping with the devil itself, but you looked at the glory and didn't know the story. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue reading this, because this right here is very, very good. Okay, so I got I'm in my 30-minute mark. Simon also dragged Porsche exclusive deal with NBC Universal Entertainment that she signed for scripted projects opportunities across the company. So everything that Porsche makes, even with Bravo, with True Entertainment, with NBC Universal, all that money is going to be split between Porsche and Simon Gabadia. See? Like I said, guys, you got to be careful. You have to be careful who you are setting there intermingling with, especially with these unequal yoked people. But like I said, Portia, most likely she went in there, she went in there because of the lifestyle that she saw someone else had. It's just quite obvious. It's quite obvious, guys, which was announced just days before she filed for divorce. The wife publicly announced her return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta just a few days prior to her filing of this divorce action. So that's just like, I'm going through a divorce. Let's go ahead and paint this right here. You're right. You're right. Miss Wu says that Portia don't you calling Portia calling us she said you calling a spade. Absolutely, But let's go ahead and paint this scenario right here. Just say right now that you going through custody battle and you trying to hide some money. So in a minute, you sit there, you take all of your money that you have made and put it in your mama's account, sort of like what they said allegedly Shawnee O'Neal had did Shaq, because they say Shawnee O'Neal started buying property and she started taking money out of Shaq account, and all that is alleged. That's what I heard long time ago. So Portia thought that she was going to do that. And then the minute when she sat there and most likely was signing these contracts, then she filed for divorce. That's right there, Portia. It puts up a red flag. Ding, ding, ding. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me go ahead and play this right here because I need to set that take one little minute break. Okay. Let me play this again.
Never understand the damage you did to someone until the same thing is done to you. That's why I am here. Karma.
Karma is real. You can keep doing people dirty and being a complete asshole and think God is going to bless you. It may not be today or tomorrow or next week, but what goes around comes back around. And when that bitch come back for you, it'll be tenfold.
You know what? It comes full circle sometimes.
Portia,
That is what I'm saying.
Portia, do you think karma bit you in the butt?
How could I call something so unfortunate to happen to someone who didn't deserve it karma?
Same thing is done to you. That's why I am here.
Comes full circle sometimes.
So of course it's not karma.
Why would I? Which makes sense now.
Sometimes, guys, you just got to laugh to keep from crying. Sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying because you never win plain dirty. And everybody sitting there saying, Cat Williams, I've been saying this from day one. I remember one of my subscribers sitting there saying, what do you mean? When the Most High God sat there and give me a message, even though, I might be talking about these reality shows, but that's where my people at. My people would rather sit smack dab in the middle of these reality shows than go outside and touch grass. So what am I doing? What is Lady D doing? Lady D is sitting there taking the foolish things of this world, which is these reality shows, which is these people's life, and conforming to wise, because half of these people, they're not about that life. They are robbing Peter to pay Paul. They are faking it until they make it. You think that these people are living that lavish life? No, they are not. Because if you was, you wouldn't put your life on a minstrel show and let the whole entire world pick it apart. Okay. And that's real talk. So like I said, what goes around come around, and you guys sitting there commenting and saying, oh, you see Portia down and you supposed to call yourself a God-fearing woman and you just putting your foot on Portia's neck. No, I didn't. I'm not. No, I'm not. I see straight through this BS. I see that Portia sat there and she went in because she saw this man's lifestyle. She went in this woman's house. This woman opened her door and sat there and showed her house, her family, and how she was riding, private planes. And Portia wanted that lifestyle, vacation, eating good food, and all this other perks. Portia wanted this. But like I said, the devil can disguise himself any kind of way that he wants. The devil can disguise himself any kind the way he want because he know about these silly sheep. He saw that silly sheep just coming along. All he had to do is, like my sister said, put a little few glitter on him. Put a little few glitter on him, and it was shiny. Oh, I want this lifestyle. I don't care what it takes. And you guys sitting there with this Me Too movement and this women stuff. Like I say, you got to put, and I'm a woman, a real woman. Like I said, I've been through hell and back. Like I said, if I start telling you my testimony, I've been hanging on the outskirts of hell. I've been through all this stuff right here. So who can tell it better than the ones that's been through it? But like I said there and say, nothing good is going to come out of it. You're going to pay the piper. You may not pay today, you might not pay tomorrow, but you're going to pay it. But when you pay it, just like when I paid the stuff that I did, I thank God that God did not sit there and took me out in my mess. I thank God that my life was anchored in the Lord, because if my life was not anchored in the Lord, I would have lost my daggone mind. But these people, like I said there and say, they don't care. Long as they can sit there and rob Peter to pay Paul and run after the love of money and enjoy all these perks, and so in a minute, things is not the way that they think that it should be, then you want to holler foul. It doesn't work like that. You can't sit there and say, look, I'm going to dress the part as a harlot, as a Jezebel spirit. And once I sat there and figured out that I was married to the devil, like I said, you got to be careful who you entertaining. Oh, now he did this to me. Oh, he did that. Well, you knew what you was getting into when you got into it. So that's why I say you also have to have these women to take accountability of the things that they are doing, because everything that glitter is not gold. And so in a minute, this bad wolf huff and puff and blow your entire world down, then you're going to sit there and holler foul. But you took the goods. You took the money. The devil don't play fair. The devil don't play fair. And I know some of you guys don't want to hear stuff like this, but God say tell it to him anyhow. Because you guys thinking that people going to stroke you and pacify you and entertain you. No, I can take this foolish stuff, but I'm also going to sit there and tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth, because in here is grown folks. You guys are not no babies. This channel is for 18 and older. If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen, because about now, some of you people, you should know exactly how this platform is set up. Yes, I could tear it down, but I also can build back up, because we got silly sheeps that thinking that this is about these people's life. Half of this stuff is not about these people's life. Okay, hold. So, okay, guys. So let me go ahead and continue reading some more, okay? Because, like I say, I can preach, okay? Yes, indeed. And let's not speaking of preaching. Let's not speaking of preaching. Don't you know? And I'm not trying to hold her fate against her, because I don't like when people do it to me. But Portia, she was an evangelist. You can't sit there and say, "Oh, I'm going to put God on the shelf." And then I'm gonna continue wilding in my mess. Just like Simon said, you can't keep putting lipstick on a pig. Okay, so on the later, it's gonna wash out, and the real you going to show. It's like a dog going back into his own vomit. Okay, it's like a dog going back in his own vomit. And I know these people, because some of these people, they are clout chasers. They are a bunch of demonic spirits, and they don't like the truth. These people like you to stroke them. Don't you know, if I sit there and start talking to you guys the way that you want me to talk to, I would have so many people in here. I would have, a big old huge subscribers. I would be doing good if I start telling you guys the stuff that you want to hear. But see, when I talk, your ears start bleeding. You can't handle it. But that's all right. That's all right, because I love it. I ain't going nowhere. Okay. So let me go ahead and continue, because like I say, this is my ministry. Okay. Um, the wife publicly announced her return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta just a few days prior to her filming in this divorce action. The wife also publicly announced that she had entered into an overall script talent deal with NBC Universal Entertainment. It is apparent that the wife financial status and income has changed since the prenuptial agreement was excluded or executed in November 2022, Simon stated. So the wife sat there and she, like I said, it says right here, her income had changed. So if her income had changed and she's making more money, then the husband, Simon Gabadia, he wants half of that, okay? He demanding the court to evaluate the circumstances surrounding the change to Porsche Financial before deciding if the prenup should be enforced. Simon further charged that the information he's seeking from True Entertainment is not to harass, intimidate, or oppress any of the involved parties, but instead is to obtain documents regarding the wife financial status. And he is in his rights to do that, okay? Simon is in his rights to go ahead and do it. Also, it says, he said he tried to handle this amicably, but Porsha refuses to provide any information regarding her financial status and income. In Porsche little teeny weeny brain, she feel what Simon belongs to her and what's hers belongs to Simon. We all say that, okay? But like I said, it's not going to work with this African man, okay? You thought that this African man was swinging from trees and he was cuckoo for Cocoa Puff and he was mesmerized after her because you could see, she got that spirit, that because you could see that spirit. It reminds me, you remember this show, Trading, I think it's called Trading Post with Eddie Murphy. You remember when Eddie Murphy and this guy, they end up with all the money. But I remember when Eddie Murphy was sitting down with one of the big old, people, companies, and the man's wife, she was like a gold digger. And every time when Eddie Murphy would say something, she'd take a little finger and she put it in her mouth. That's how Porsha, when she was dancing with him, she always take a little finger and put it in her mouth, and all you can see is this big old choppers of hers and stuff like that. She was serenading him, she was luring him in, and he fell for it. He fell for it, but also he also had his ducks in a row. She thought that, I could sit there and get out of it, and I could sit there and smear his character, he's illegal, he does not belong here, and I can run off, but it doesn't work like that, Porsha. Only in Porsha's world, okay? Only in Porsha's world. So right here it says, and he said he tried to handle it. I read that part right there. So let me see if I'm finished. Okay, he said her financial status is even more of an issue now that she filed the emergency order, adding it would be a miscarriage of justice to allow the wife to assert her claim in divorce case that's directly related to her income and financial status, but prevent husband from utilizing the discovery tool available under the law to explore those claims and prepare defense against them. Simon charged that True Entertainment paid Porsha multi-millions, and therefore Porsche financial status and income must be evaluated before the court decide if the prenup is enforceable. So right there, Simon sitting there and saying, when we signed this prenup, Porsche did not have no income coming in. So I sat there and I say, well, Porsha, I'm going to take care of her. She could stay in the house for, 2 years until, she get on her feet. But, Porsha, she went ahead and she made bank. She went ahead and she signed these big old contracts. So the wife communication with True Entertainment about the nature of her employment and the service she to provide under any agreement are all relevant to the issues in this case. He stated Simon accused True Entertainment, Porsha, of failing to appear and at a May 20 deposition. Oh my God, Porsha did not even appear. Now, good and well, guys, when the court order you something, to do and you don't appear, you can forfeit everything. So by Porsha did not appear during her deposition, Simon could end up getting everything that he asked for. That's just like with this blogger that her and another blogger or whatever was going back and forth, and she didn't show up. I think the blogger was suing her for like $10 million, and she didn't show up. So she forfeit her rights. So that means that the $10 million is automatic granted to the defender. You see, so Porsha might end up paying everything, this giving this man everything that he's asking for, and therefore she is entitled to the relief she requests in her motion to squash because she did not comply with the requirement. Let's read that again. And therefore she is not entitled to the relief she requests. So everything that Porsha had requested for, by she not showing up, is going to go against her. Simon said true entertainment deposition is necessary. So Simon is playing with it because he know who he's dealing with. He know that he's dealing with someone that, at a short end of a stick. Okay. Yes, indeed. This was a good read. And I promise you guys, I did not read this until I came on with you guys. But that right there is a good read. And I got 8 more minutes, guys. Like I said, make sure you go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more entertainment content. And if you don't like it, hit the dislike, whatever you feel led. But in here is real talk. So guys, when you come on my channel, like I said, we are grown folks, and I'm going to tell it like it is. I don't know these people from a can of paint. I only can give you my honest opinion. And this right here is my honest, unedited opinion, because I'm not going to edit these videos. Okay. I only can tell it to you the way it is. I'm just the messenger. So don't get mad with the messenger. Okay. Because like I said, you air it out, you are free game. These people chose these reality shows, these lifestyles. And when it comes to these reality shows, I'm very hard on these reality shows because I think that these reality shows, what it do is it stereotype Black people. It makes you out there looking like a fool. And that's exactly what's happening. And I'm pretty sure, when Porsha do get on that set, but first she got to clean up all this mess. Because if she don't clean up this mess, just like I had said before, what she have to split between Simon, which Simon going to automatically get that because she didn't show up to her deposition. But Simon also going to put a price tag, and I'm pretty sure that Simon is going to send a bill to NBC, a bill to True Entertainment and Bravo if they are filming inside of his house. He wants money from that as well. So right there, Simon hit the jackpot. Like I said, you never win when you play dirty. What goes around, come around. Porsha thought that she was going to slither her way out of this. No, you can't slither your way out of this. But like I said, you might believe in karma, but I believe that, you don't play. You do not play and think that you're going to get away with it. You don't do that because what goes around, come around. And whatever you put out there in the atmosphere is going to come back. And when it come back and bite you in your butt, you might not be able to handle it. You might end up giving 7 times more than what you received when you was in that marriage. You see where I'm going? All the money that this man sat there and spend and lavish on her, Porsha would end up paying him 7 times as much as he gave her. So we got to be careful how we treat people. We got to be careful and exactly, how we going around and saying a woman this, a woman that. Like I said, there is say, don't let your goods be evil spoken of as well. You can't sit there and put your life out there in harm's way, put yourself in those type of positions. And when it does not go your way, you wants to holler foul. It doesn't work like that because we are right now is what I call the year of exposure. What you used to get away with back then, you cannot get away with it now, especially God's chosen people. You cannot get away with it because you're going to be brought to open shame. You can't continue doing the same thing that you used to do. And then the thing about it, these people, they got children. These children, they are looking at this. And children are like sponges. They might not be able to put all the pieces together right now because their brains is so small. But this is not going nowhere. This stuff right here is for the entire world to pick it apart. It's all over social media. And if anything that's on social media, it's not going nowhere. And sooner or later, these children are going to see all this. Like I said, what we are doing right now, we are trickling down generational curses. I don't know what makes, these people think that they can go into something and thinking that they can misuse people. You don't know who you are entertaining. You don't know who you are entertaining. You thinking that, if I go low, I'm going to take it to hell. Well, like I say, the devil does not play fair. Much is given, much is required. And the cost is severe. You don't know who you entertaining. Like I say, when it comes to Simon Gabadia, this is not his first rodeo. He been in the game. This man been married about 4 or 5 times. So now he got a little silly sheep, somebody like Porsha, very silly. And you think that she thought that she was going to get over someone that been in the game for so long? No, he going to take you to the cleaners, Porsha. And he deserved every bit of it, because if it was the other way around, you would have done it as well. And don't sit there and come under my comment, oh, you just jealous, you just hate. I'm not jealous and I'm not hating. I've been through all this. Who can tell it better than the ones that already been through it? You go into a relationship because of money, you would never be happy. Everybody thinking you sitting there living large, you living in a nice house, you driving the best cars, but you don't know how that person inside went through pure hell. How this person was bawling their eyes out. You don't know. You don't know. So stop covering somebody else's blessings. Just because you see this person driving the nice cars and living large, behind the gated community, that does not mean that person is about that life. That person could be going through pure hell. That's why I be telling people, take your eyes off of me. Take your eyes off of people's blessings and put your eyes on the Most High God who gave them those blessings. Because like I said, much is given, much is required. And that's real talk. Can't get no clearer than this, guys. I got 2 more minutes. So again, guys, thank you. Thank you for spending time with me. Real talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and 9 buys. And thank you. Someone sent me a cash app. Thank you very, very much. And I pray that it falls on good grounds, sticking together, unlimited, running over. Okay. And that's real talk. Miss Wu says the gag is he's been watching Porsha. Absolutely. He watched how she played. He knew. This man, you can watch some of the clips, some of the scenes when Porsha went into their house. Even Fallon, I showed you a little small clip. She sat there and said, now that I think of it, it could be true. People sat there and saying Porsha looked like she been knew this man. Most likely Porsha did. According to what Fallon said, Dennis told her, and I'm going to say allegedly, that Porsha been knew Fallon. Porsha been knew Simon Gabadia. The way that she was acting and fronting and prancing her butt all around this man. This man was just sitting on top of his table, on his patio, and just eyeing it out, looking. You could see that. You could see that these two had some type of chemistry. Even when she drove up to his house, and the way Laura eyes. Every time when I used to play that clip, they used to strike that clip down. You could see how Laura eyes, look, how Porsha was just so excited to go to that house, and how she bend over showing her butt, and the cameraman showing her butt, and they already went there, because they went there for agenda. Like I said, sometimes the devil gonna give you exactly what you want, and not knowing that's gonna be a lifetime of pure hell, and that's real talk. My girl says that you never know what's going on behind the scene. Never cover. You're right. Never cover nobody blessings. That's exact. Like I said, I cannot tell you guys nothing that I have not been through. Like I said, when it comes on this channel right here, this is my ministry. God allowed me to go through it, even though I'm talking about reality shows, people, that chose to put their life on display. But there's a reason, because I don't think that the Most High God makes mistakes. God is not going to bring you somewhere without seeing you through. Everything is a lesson learned. When I look at these reality shows, that's why I sit there and I tell people, y'all look at the surface of everything. I don't look at the surface. I look at the inner core. It's like a peach. A peach and then nectar. You know how it's so hard. The seed. You keep cracking, keep cracking. You get to the meat. That's how I am. So I don't do surface ministry or do surface reviews. I get to the meat of it. That's why I sat there and say, when you come to me correct. Don't come to me with this surface content. Sitting there sending me content of these people. Oh, this is how this person is doing. We're going to talk about that tonight. Talking about Kiki, sending me videos about Kiki, a content creator. Oh, look what Kiki did. Kiki had an addiction. So if a person had a condition, a sickness, anybody can play over that. If you got a drug addiction, most likely this person will sit there and give you the clothes off of their back just to get whatever they need for that fix. And that's exactly what happened to Kiki. So don't send me any videos sitting there saying, oh, this person did this person did that. But who are the ones that sat there, what you call the dope dealers? Who are the masterminders that played and used that person? Let's talk about that person. Nobody don't want to talk about that person. So we're going to talk about it tonight. Like I say, guys, don't subscribe. Hold on one second.
Understand the damage you did to someone until the same thing is done to you. That's why I am here. Karma.
Karma is real. You can keep doing people dirty and being a complete asshole and think God is going to bless you. It may not be today or tomorrow or next week, but what goes around comes back around. And when that bitch come back for you, it'll be tenfold.
You know what? It comes full circle sometimes.
Porsha,
That is what I'm saying.
Porsha, do you think karma bit you in the butt?
How could I call something so unfortunate to happen to someone who didn't deserve it karma?
Same thing is done to you. That's why I am here.
It comes full circle sometimes.
So of course it's not karma.
Why would I? Which makes sense now.
And you see, when it comes to Kenya Moore, yeah, you see Kenya Moore is out there dancing and prancing with Porsha, but Kenya Moore going to eat this up alive. Kenya Moore is going to eat Porsha up alive. Okay, so guys, look, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close it out on this note right here. You all enjoy the rest of your day. Again, happy Memorial Day. Go out there and touch some grass and enjoy, yourself with your family and your friends, because these people right here, these people, believe it or not, they are faking it till they make it. They are not about that life. So stop getting yourself all bothered up when it comes to these people. When I talk about it, I can talk about it and I can go to sleep at night. I can continue with my everyday life. I don't get too heavily invested when it comes to stuff like this. Okay, in here, like I said, I call it like it is, and then after that I bounce. So on that note, you all have a beautiful, blessed, prosperous day, and thank you again, Miss Woe. Thank you again for coming in and spending the time with me, commenting, and even the ones that's out there in the bushes. Okay, you all have a beautiful, prosperous day, and I talk to you guys tonight around about 5 o'clock Central. Okay, so you all be blessed.